Guten Tag alle. Heute werden wir ein bisschen über Konjunktiv 2 sprechen oder wie es auf Englisch heißt, Subjunctive. The subjunctive mood is important to remember. It is not a tense. The mood can have many tenses, but it's a verb form or mood used to express uncertainty, doubt, or a contrary to reality condition. It is also frequently used in German to reflect politeness and good manners. For example, when you say ich hätte gern, which means I would like, you could also say ich möchte, I would like. The subjunctive mood can be used in various tenses. In this way, it's similar to the passive voice. And if you want to learn more of the passive, you should check out those videos. As in English, German builds off the past tense of verbs to form the subjunctive. So, just as an example, the two verbs we're going to be dealing with mostly today are haben und sein, and their subjunctive forms hätte und wäre. Okay, so like I said, we're going to be focusing on the present perfect tense or perfect tense using the subjunctive mood. So subjunctive forms of haben und sein, which we already discussed, were hätte and wäre, they also have conjugations, and they operate as helping verbs when used with the past participle of the main verb. So for example, when you say ich habe Deutsch gelernt, that means I have learned German. But if you say ich hätte Deutsch gelernt, then it means I would have learned German. Now you are stating something that may have happened. It's not really for sure. Ich bin nach Atlanta gefahren means I have driven to Atlanta. And this causes a lot of problems for English learners and people who are approaching German from the English side. Because you see ben is the helping verb and you want to translate it as am. But you have to think of it as have, and we're going to talk more about that in a minute. Ich wäre nach Atlanta gefahren means I would have driven to Atlanta. Okay, so we're going to focus on hätten und wären, or the subjunctive forms of haben und sein. So it's important that you learn the conjugations that these can possibly take. So für hätten, ich hätte, du hättest, er hätte, wir hätten, ihr hättet, sie hätten. And für wären or für sein, the subjunctive form, ich wäre, du wärest, er wäre, wir wären, ihr wäret, sie wären. Now in English, when we're forming the perfect tense with this subjunctive mood, it's helpful to think of both of these verbs as meaning would have. So now you want to be able to determine when do you use haben as a helping verb and when do you use sein, or in the subjunctive mood, when do you use hätten, when do you use wären. So you use wären just like you would use sein when the verb indicates motion to a new location, and this has to be pretty clear. Verbs such as fahren or gehen or fliegen. When you are driving, you're moving to a new location. You're gehen, you're definitely going to a new location. Fliegen, you're flying. As opposed to a verb that doesn't clearly indicate that, like spielen. Playing, you might think that involves action, but you can be playing cards and sitting still, so it has to be motion that indicates movement to a new location. Zweitens, the verb indicates a change in the state of being, okay? So, zum Beispiel, for example, wachsen, to grow. When you grow, you're going from small to big or young to old. Sterben, you die, you're going from living to dead. Werden means to become. So, for example, ich werde krank, you're going from healthy to sick. And finally, you use werden with certain verbs that are always just use verb. They are sein, which has gewesen, and werden, which the past participle of that is geworden. And a third verb that is not here is bleiben, geblieben. Okay, so in our next video, we're going to try some examples. So, das kommt in einer Minute.